All right, so let's get started. There's no copies of Form B to hand out, so if you want a copy, get an iPad, follow along. And so here we go. Let's hope this works the first time so they have something to do. Today I said you're going to answer more of the questions. The boards are still up, which is fantastic. If you need an iPad, go over to Miss Rash's and get one, which is fine. Question number 1. Express the confidence interval using the indicated format. So, which board are we on when they talk about p hat? Yep, we're on 7-2. That's a proportion or a percent. Okay, either one. So, your picture. Here are the numbers right here. 0.35, 0.63. You have to find p hat. And you have to find the error. Some of you that are slow starters need to get with it. P hat and the error. So what is p hat? All right, if you don't have a calculator punching a button right now, I'm going to call on you and ask why you don't. I want to know what p hat is. This is stats. You use your calculator. All right? If you don't know how to find p hat, then you have to make yourself a note on how to find p hat. Remember, on your test, these choices will not be here. So anybody with an answer for p hat, let me know. Yes, what did you get? 0.49, and can I ask how you did that? Okay, the average of 0.35 and 0.63, okay? So then what is the error? Yep. 0.14 on both sides. There's our picture, there's our work, and now we write our answers. How do you write p hat plus or minus e? I don't think it's too difficult. You just write the numbers. 0.49 plus or minus 0.14. Okay? Nice way to start, don't you think? I should use like fake names. That'd be awesome. All right, any questions on that? We're moving on to number 2. Can you close the door, please? Some kid just looked in and made me scared. All right. Following confidence intervals obtained from a population proportion. What is our symbol for population proportion? Those of you spacing out now need to answer the question because I'm not answering questions today. You are going to drive this today. So what is the population proportion? What symbol? You have several to choose from on the board. Pick one at random. Or pick one that you feel knowledgeable about. Very good. So we're going to use p hat. So, population proportion, p hat. What are these numbers right here? Using stats terms, what are those numbers? Left bound, right bound confidence intervals. So, I write my confidence intervals, 0.528 and 0.554. The question is asking to find the margin of error E. How do I draw that in my picture? What number do you have to find first? Very good. You have to find out what p hat is. So what did you get for the calculation of p hat? Where's your calculator? Oh, drawing too. Oh, great. So what did you get for p hat? Anybody? 0.541. Okay. So what's the error? .013, and that's on both sides. Okay. So here's your work. You took the average to find this. You took 0.5. I don't like that. You took 0.541 and took 0.554 minus that to find the error. So the error equals 0.013. Okay? Questions on that? Anybody get anything different? If you have questions, now's the time to ask and not on Tuesday. Okay? Moving on. Number 3. Assume that the sample S is used to estimate the population proportion. So which board are we on? 7-2. Find the margin of error that corresponds to given statistics and confidence level around the margin of error to 4 decimal places. So, we have 99% confidence, we have N, we have X. We're on board 7-2. So, any ideas? E equals Z alpha over 2, root P hat Q hat over N is one choice. Do we have another choice? You can do 1 prop Z int. You can calculate your interval. And once you get these numbers right here, you can then subtract upper bound minus P hat to find the error. So which direction do you want to go? Makes no difference to me. Okay, we're on 1 prop Z int. So, 1 prop Z int. What number does he put in? Isn't it X in to the confidence level? Okay. Does everybody know where to find that button? Fantastic. So what do you get for the bounds? .180187. So I'll put. I'll just put 180. We'll go with that. And then what's the upper bound? 219. Very good. So what is P hat equal to? Huh? 0.2. So then my error. Yep, 0.019. Okay, fantastic. Just out of curiosity, if you went this route, E equals, how do you find your Z-score? Because you should get the same answer, right? How do you find your Z-score in this one? Yeah, inverse norm of 1 minus 0.01 divided by 2, right? And what do you get for that calculation? What is inverse norm of 1 minus... Remember, the 0.1 comes from 1 minus 0.99. That equals alpha. Okay. So what's the Z-score on that one? You get it? What is it? 2.58? What is p hat equal to? Nope. P hat is actually equal to x divided by n. Remember, n times p equals, or x times p hat equals n. So what is p hat? What'd you get? Oh, somebody did say 0.2. 0.2, what's q hat? 0.8, and n was 2900. So somebody punch that out and just let me know that we get the same thing. Yes. Q hat is equal to 1 minus p hat. Okay? Do you get the same thing? Nice. Okay. Do the same thing, Blake? Did you punch it out? Punch out real quick. Oh, because I want to see if you can do it, because this is going to be needed later. They should come out the same, but I just want to double check it. The reason I did this was I didn't think people knew how to find p hat. I didn't think they remembered it was x divided by n. 2.58? Yep, 2900. Very good. 0.0191. So it works. Okay? Either way. Moving on to number 4. Use the degree of confidence and sample data to construct a confidence interval for the population P. Which board are we on? 7-2 again. And the confidence interval? Looking for those numbers. What goes in the middle? P hat, our population percentage from our sample. Our percentage from our sample. What button are we using? 1 prop z int. Okay, and that was x in confidence level, or degree of confidence. And yes, I actually do want you to show me which button you're using on the test, so I can give you partial credit in case you make a mistake. So x is 27, 72.95, and what'd you get? Yeah.
Below down I got 0.263.
0.263?
0.487.
0.487, and what was p hat in your calculation? 375. Okay, they don't ask for error, they just ask for those numbers. Any questions on that? Good. We're moving on. Number 5. Minimum sample size. Hunter, what letter goes with minimum sample size? Okay, it's in. Okay. I did it on the other video, so I felt obligated to do it again. Like he's ever going to listen. All right, margin of error. That's E, right? Confidence level and p hat and q hat are unknown. So which equation we use to find n? Let's see, who's on that side of the room? Caitlin? What equation will you use to find n? I didn't bring my glasses.
V equals V alpha over 2. Or V.
Okay, good. So let's put our numbers in. What's E? How do you find Z alpha over 2? How do you find your Z-score? Yep, inverse norm. When you use this button, that means you're running a normal distribution. Okay. 1 minus, we already talked about alpha, so it's going to be 0.08 divided by 2, 0 and 1. There we go. So what is the inverse? What is my z-score? What is it? Is it really? That's an odd z-score. All right, square root, what's p hat? 0.5, very good. And what's q hat? Remember, if they're not given, they automatically assume to be 50% each. And n is what we're looking for. So here's my z-score of 1.75. So that means that the area in this tail, you don't have to have the area shaded, but next chapter you will. That means this is going to be have an area of 0.04. And the other one is negative 1.75 is also 0.04. You don't have to have the areas. All right, so now we punch it out. Punch out the end so you don't get off a whole lot in your answer by rounding. Cross multiply. You don't have to show all the work. Some people are doing it different. That's fine. What'd you get? 6,327. Sounds good to me. Yep, that's what you got. Perfect. We've come a long way in a short time. Yes.
So, how much did you go? 0.08.
Oh, remember 0.08 is alpha, and alpha is equal to 1 minus the degree of confidence. Okay? Yes. That's fine. As long as you have your work, that's fine. Okay? Work, picture, formula, you're fine. Oh, an answer. Okay? Any questions? That went a lot smoother than last week. All right, moving on. Number 6. So let's see, I think you're supposed to find n again. Same directions, I think, for 5 and 6. Use the given data to find the minimum sample size. Yeah, so you're finding n again. What board are we on again? Same thing, p hat. So, see if you can run this one. I'll try to quietly write and keep up with Blake as he's writing things out. We're using the same equation, though. All right, what did anybody get? What? 135? Sounds good to me. Everybody okay with that? Fantastic. Questions? Did you get it, Blake? Nice job. I should start calling you Derek. So when Derek listens to this, he'll actually think he's in the class. That'll confuse him. But anyway, we won't do that today. Use degree of confidence and the sample data to construct a confidence interval for the population P. So which board are we on? Pretty obvious, I think. Yeah. 7-2. I just do the Z-score. Yeah, the Z-score. So I drew those pictures.
You have to draw that like curve on every one.
Yeah, because this represents a normal distribution. Later on, you know, when we don't do normal distributions, it'll look like that. Okay. Yeah, so right now it's a Z-score with normal distribution. All right. Of the 238 employees selectively random from one company, 10.08% of them commute by carpooling. Construct a 90% confidence interval for the true percentage of all employees of the company who carpool. So, any ideas which button to use? You're trying to construct this picture. So which button would you use? Or calculation, if you're looking at that one. Anybody? I think so. That's the button we use to construct our interval. What is X? Don't we need X and our degree of confidence? So what is X? How'd you get 24? Right. Remember, N times P equals X. We had that earlier. So we took 238 times 0.1008 because it was 10.8%. That equals, I don't know, 23 and some change. You have to round it up to 24. N is going to be 238. Our confidence interval is 0.90. What'd you get? .069, and what's the other one? 0.133. All right, so now you write your answers in terms of a percent. So your answer is going to be 6.9% to 13.3%. So you can say with 90% confidence that the people that work at this company, between 6.9 and 13.3% of them carpool. Not very much. Okay. Questions? That's why it's proportion or percent for p hat. Great. We're moving on. How do you find Z alpha over 2 that corresponds to a 91% confidence level? Z score. Clayton? It is. It's also on. It's on board 7.2 and 7.3. You're looking for what Z alpha over 2 equals. Yep, inverse norm of 1 minus alpha over 2, 0 to 1. You don't need the 0 to 1. That just means the mean is 0 and the standard deviation is 1. So what is alpha? Yeah, you take 1 minus 0.91 and you get 0.09. So what do you get when you calculate inverse norm? 1 minus 0.9. 0.09 divided by 2. What did you get? 1.70. So you make your little mark right here, 1.70. Shade this in, and how much is that area? Well, that's the 0.09 divided by 2 because it's in 2 tails. 0.09 divided by 2. Okay? Questions? No, that's just for my own benefit. Now, if you had this equation, this answer, that picture, 3 out of 3. Ringing them up. Yeah. I don't know. How many questions are there? How much is each one worth? 3. 60 points. In calculus, they're worth 5 each. 2 for the drawing, 2 for the calculation, 1 for the answer. Here it's 1, 1, and 1. Okay. They have a quiz today of 4 questions. All right. Moving on. Determine whether the given conditions justify using this equation. Sample size is n equals 7. Well, we said it has to be n bigger than 30 or a normal distribution. And we also said that standard deviation had to be known. No, it is not. If the standard deviation is not known, that would be a t-distribution. If you had a normal distribution or n greater than or equal to 30. I think this strikes out on all counts. Okay? Yeah. I'm sorry? Yes. Picture? Normal distribution? Not there. Standard deviation? Should be known, and it's not. And it had to be a simple random sample, but I think that was included. Okay? You can write just no and you get 1 point. That's fine. Okay? But you got to write a little bit more in there for extra. All right. Find the margin of error. Round your answer to sample mean unless otherwise noted. Which board are we on when it says X bar? 7.3 or what other one? 7.4. Is the standard deviation known or is the standard deviation unknown? It's known, so we are on 7.3. So, how do you find E on 7.3? Here's X bar, 3898. There's actually 2 ways to find E. E equals Z alpha over 2. Standard deviation will root in. E also equals upper bound minus X bar. So if you went this route, you would have your Z score picture. If you went this route, you would have your bounds with your X bar in it. And E is right here. Okay? So either way you go, it makes no difference to me. You'd have your Z-score picture and your equation, or you'd have your, what button do you use to get your bounds in this one? On the right side, which button do you use? Yeah, Z interval. So, and over here to find the z-score, you use inverse norm. So, somebody work it out on the left, and tell me what your z-score is. Yeah. 2.57 is your z-score. Remember, you're shading on this side, and you're shading on this side. So you have E equals 2.57 times 848 divided by the square root of 72. Okay. And what do you get for that number? 257? Okay. Over here for Z interval, what numbers did you type in? I can read that board. 848. X bar is 3898. Then your N is 72. And your confidence is 0.99. Okay? Now what numbers did you get for the interval on that one? What's the lower bound? How would you get for the lower bound? Okay. Let's see, Z intervals under distribution, isn't it? For the test. There we go. Number 7. N 72 and 0.99. 3640, 3641, and 4156. $38.98. Okay. $258. Okay. So either way, either method. Okay. Questions on either one? Nothing we haven't seen before. We'll do one more and then wrap it up. All right. Use the confidence level and sample data to find the confidence interval for estimating the population mu. What is our estimate? What letter do we use to estimate the mean? X bar. That means we're either on board 7.3 or we're on board 7.4. So, is the standard deviation known? Yes, it is. So that means we're on board 7.3. So how do you find your confidence interval? What button are you going to use to find it? Remember, you're looking for these numbers right over here. Yeah, anytime you use the word interval, we're going to use the interval. Okay. And the reason we're using Z is because we know the standard deviation. If we didn't know the standard deviation, we'd use T interval. But we know Z interval, so there we go. What's it go? X standard deviation 5.9. X bar 53. N 76. And the confidence level 0.98. Okay. And what'd you get for, see, we know X bar is 53. What'd you get for these numbers when you typed it out? Yep. And 54.6. There's a small error right there, but okay. Any questions? So on Monday we'll finish up 12 through 20. And then on Tuesday we'll take our test. And I'll try to make another video of Monday's lesson. All right?